break of about 1 year, I think 3 months since my last release, Ruck. And people ask me why the break. Well, I was shooting 4 films consecutively, simultaneously. So that's why the break. And the 4 films coming out now are fantastic. They're all eagerly awaited films. So in a way, yes, it's like a second innings. It's like a new phase. I hope it is.
Yeah, you did make quite a few mistakes in your first innings, the way you got it.
I'd like to say mistakes sometimes, but I'd also like to say it's a learning process. Mistakes, yeah, I would like to have been somewhere much higher than where I am right now. So I would say they're mistakes, but I have no regrets doing them because what I did made me learn from the industry, as in how I should go about trying to choose which film to work in. Uh, I did work in a couple of films which never actually got released, and it was no fault of anybody's. I should have just maybe looked deeper into situations. Yes, it's taught me a lot, the industry, and it's made me wiser.
I don't feel like an outsider at the beginning of your career. Probably the fact that you didn't really have a godfather in the industry.
Well, come to think of it, actually, right, the shift from modeling to acting, I never ever felt like I was not welcome. I was always welcome in the industry. I mean, at that point, someone took a risk with me with my first film, Pyar Mein Kabhi Kabhi, and I wasn't even sure whether I'm doing the right thing. I got into it, had a great time. After the movie release, saw so much fan adulation because my music became a huge success at that time, and I quite enjoyed it. I wasn't thinking at that time, no Godfather, what will I do, so on and so forth. It didn't really bother me. After that, I realized that this is what I want to do. I went and met Mukesh Bhatt, Mahesh Bhatt, thinking that, okay, they're good banners and stuff like that. And Raaz happened. It became this big success, which threw me into another level altogether. And not for a moment did I stop to think that, oh, I don't have a Godfather, or no one's here to help me. That's why I made also a couple of mistakes because there was no one telling me, oh, you should watch how you choose your films. I was purely going on the basis of interesting cast, nice story, and that's it. Not looking into who the banners, who the producers. So made a couple of mistakes because of that. Sometimes there I wish, okay, maybe I wish I had someone to guide me and tell me, Dino, do this. But then I've learned it the hard way, so no regrets.
Uh, the Bhatt camp also has been very instrumental in the way your career shaped up.
Yeah.
They helped you a lot. They've always worked with newcomers.
Yes.
Was that one of the things that made you go to them? As you said, you went to the Bhatt camp.
I didn't know much about whether, actually when I did Raaz with them, they were not working with too many newcomers. I think after Raaz took off, I mean, with two totally newcomers, Bipasha and me, that's when they started using more and more newcomers. I didn't go to them because I'd heard or anything that they used newcomers. I just went to them because I wanted to work with good people. And I happened to have Mukesh Bhatt's number with me. So I called him. He was one of the first few people I called. I mean, I called Ram Gopal also, Mr. Ram Gopal Verma first. I met him first actually. He saw a couple of my pictures, but nothing really came of our meeting. And the second meeting was with Mukesh Bhatt and Mahesh Bhatt, and it just clicked.
You also have a deep bond with Bhatt even now, doing Aksar, this Imran there, half the Bhatt camp is there.
Aksar is not a Bhatt situation. Aksar is just got people who started off their careers with the Bhatt camp. That is Imran and Udita Goswami. But the film is totally, it's Venus and Sham Bajaj and Mr. Narendra Bajaj. So it has nothing to do with the Bhatt camp. Holiday, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't say that's a Bhatt camp, that's Pooja Bhatt, who also I wouldn't say is a Bhatt camp. Bhatt camp is basically Mr. Mukesh Bhatt and Mahesh Bhatt, that's it. And Pooja has her own company, so it's completely separate. They just have the same surname. And I think some people also get confused and they say Vikram Bhatt is related to Pooja Bhatt, which is also totally wrong. They're far from related. It doesn't mean if people have the same surname that they're related. So Pooja Bhatt is now with Holiday, yeah, but the same surname, similar company, similar family.
Aksar, the music has again done really well.
Yeah.
How has the film shaped up according to you? How satisfied are you with the way it's standing out?
Well, the music for Aksar is number one right now, and I am actually quite satisfied with the way the film has shaped up. Anant Mahadevan's made a really nice film. Um, it's hot right now in the industry. It's hot. I mean, the audiences are dying to go and see Aksar because not only the music, they've got a feeler as to what it's all about. There's extramarital affairs and so on and so forth. So it's quite exciting to watch. And I'm happy with the way the film is shaped up. He's done a wonderful job. No regrets working in this film at all. I loved it every second of the way.
You know this Imran in the film, Fight Club again is sharing screen space with a lot of people. You get insecure in that regard ever? You think about
You know, I mean, I get into films knowing exactly what I'm doing. I wouldn't get into a film if I know that I'm going to be shafted or my role is going to be cut. I don't think I'll do that. Like I said, I've tried to become wiser. The industry's taught me a lot. Anant narrated the role to me. I think I have a fabulous role in Aksar. If you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I can't tell you about my role right now, but you have to see the movie to understand why I chose to do this film. Fight Club, Sohail, when he gave me a synopsis of the story, I really liked it. Then they gave me a full narration before I signed the film. And I loved my role. And the main protagonist of Fight Club is basically these four boys. That's Ashish, Ritesh, Zayed, and myself, who start the Fight Club and take the story to another level. So, no insecurities at all.
talking about holiday, you're playing the kind of role that probably you never had. You're not known as a dancing hero as such.
Yep.
Was there any apprehension on that part to that, repose so much faith in you to live up to that? Must have been challenging.
Well, see, firstly, let me go back to your first part. I'm not known as a dancing hero. I feel there's a huge misconception, not only in our industry, with a lot of the viewers. If you don't do any film which has a nice song and dance number, they think that you cannot dance at all. I've always had this urge in me as a child to always want to do something related to dance. And a dance film, I think, is very inspiring. I mean, if you see all the old dance films, you always watch it and you want to come out and go and practice and learn how to dance and start doing some groovy steps. So I've always wanted to do a dance film, which has been inspiring. So when I heard Pooja was making this film, I went to her and said, listen, I want to do it. And she said, can you dance? I told the same thing. I said, there's huge misconception in the industry, I said, of course I can. I mean, I've got fantastic rhythm in my body. But you tell me what we're going to do. Then she said, okay, let's do something new. Let's try Latin American. So I said, fine. Then I started training for it. I mean, everything needs training. You need to rehearse or you need to train. And I trained in Latin American because the whole posture for Latin American, the form of dance, is very different from what we normally do in Bollywood, for instance, or even in a nightclub. It's a very different style of dancing. So I trained very hard for this movie, for Holiday especially. And I feel if you train and put in hard work, the results will show for sure, and it's showing.
Yeah, as you said, the dance forms are very different from what we've seen in Bollywood. Do you think audiences are now more ready, more accepting to such different kinds of films, or
See, I feel as long as something looks beautiful and nice, and it's very pleasing to the eye, the audience will accept it. Why not? It might be alien to them, but as long as it looks nice and they appreciate it, then I don't think you can go wrong anywhere. So it's not about the audience is ready for it or not. It's just how you shoot it, how you make it, and how convincing you are as a dancer. And if you can make it look good enough as a dance step, if it's done like a shoddy job, then obviously they're not going to accept it and they'll think, "Arey, kya bakwas kiya?" So if it's done right, everyone will accept it.
do you know has it ever happened when you watch a Hollywood film perhaps and you say that I'd love to do this, but sadly they don't make films like these in Bollywood?
Well, a lot of times, yeah, I've watched English movies and said, wow, I wish. But then we got to think about lots of things like Hollywood is universal. The budgets they have and the budgets we have, there's a huge difference. Well, there's sometimes some of the Indian movies, some of our old classics, which are so brilliantly shot and on what budgets. But the fantastic movies, and I guess some of our old Indian films also have been watched abroad and people have appreciated cinema which we have made. Right now, I feel people have to just get a little more passionate about making good movies and not just watching a Hollywood film and saying, let's make it in Hindi, but we just have to start using our own minds and being more creative.
That happens a lot of times, doesn't it? Even in a Fight Club, I'm not sure whether it's right, but it's said to be a copy of the film by the same name.
Fight Club?
Yeah.
Not at all. We've just got the title Fight Club, and it has nothing to do with the original English film Fight Club. I mean, the English film it was about a guy who was schizophrenic and who had an alter ego kind of thing. This is totally different. It's about four college-going students who start something called the Fight Club.